Hi everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing fine and I hope you're good. I hope that you had a good weekend as well. Alright, so today our chapter will be personal pronouns. And first, you have to log in using the aplustudent.com. Click on your name, move on to language, add the grade 5. The chapter is personal pronouns. The lesson will be what choose between subject and object pronouns, compound subject and object with I and me, and compound subject and object with pronouns. Hi to you all in the chat. So we will start now. Alright, so you can use a subject pronoun as a subject of a sentence or clause. So subject pronoun, it goes as the word subject of a sentence. Okay? So it tells who is doing something and it usually at the beginning of the sentence. So the subject pronoun is usually at the beginning and it tells you who is doing something in the sentence. The subject pronouns are what? I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Okay, so all these are subject pronouns that tells us what the person is doing or what someone is doing in the sentence, and they all should be placed at the beginning of the sentence. So it's just like saying I hug Rick. Now I here is the subject pronoun and the subject I is the subject of the sentence and it's telling us what I am doing there. Okay, or you can say she hugs Rick. That's also what subject pronoun. All right, so she's it's still placed at the beginning of the sentence and it tells you what the subject is doing. All right, so we have object pronoun now. You can use an object pronoun after an action verb. So object pronouns are used what? Object pronoun is used after an action verb. Okay, so this is when we use an object pronoun. You can also use an object pronoun after a preposition like at, for, of, on, to, or with. The object pronouns are what? Me, you, him, her, it, us, them. So all these are what? Object pronouns. Okay? So you use them after an action verb or after a preposition. So Rick hugs me. Action verb here is what? Hugs. So that's why we have me after that, after the action verb. Rick smiles at me. Now the object pronoun is used after a preposition at. Okay, so you can see the difference between the subject pronoun and object pronoun. Subject is at the beginning, while the object is after the preposition or the action verb. All right, so let's look at some examples. All right, so look at the example here. Select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. Would you like to go to the fashion show with what? With us or with them? So obviously, would you like to go with us because it's what? Object pronoun. Okay? When Vera is upset, she always confides in what? In him. So it's what? Showing what? Object pronoun. Okay, it comes after a preposition. The marks, okay. The mosquito buzzed around and then bit dash. What? Bit me. So object pronoun. So it comes after an action verb. Okay. So let's look at the test. Select the complete pronoun to complete the sentence. Dash dyed his hair purple for Halloween. Him or he? What's the most suitable answer here? Alright, so we have he dyed his hair purple for Halloween. He. Because this is what subject pronoun. Do you think the judges will select her or select she? What do you think is the right one here? Her or she? Alright, so do you think the judges will select what? She or her? Her, object pronoun. Okay. Remember to tell your parents that you appreciate they or appreciate them. What do you think here? Alright, so remember to tell your parents that you appreciate them. Object pronoun. The mosquito buzzed around and then beats me or beats I. Alright, so and then beats me. Okay, so that's challenge you to a game of table tennis. We or us. Alright, so we challenge you to a game of table tennis. When Vera is upset, she always confides in him or he. What is the right one here? Alright, so she always confides in him. Alright, so that's it for this lesson. Choose between subject and object pronouns. If you haven't done this, you have to make sure that you complete this later on in your free time. Okay? So we'll move on to the next one. So we'll move on to compound subjects and objects with I and me. All right, so I is a subject pronoun. I is a subject pronoun. You can use it as the subject of a sentence or clause. It tells that the speaker is doing something and it's usually at the beginning of the sentence. So we know that I is at the beginning of a sentence, it's a subject pronoun. Okay, so it's just like saying I hug Rick. The subject pronoun I is the subject of the sentence. Then we also have me is an object pronoun. So you can use it after an action verb. So you use me after an action verb because it's an object pronoun, and you can also use it after a preposition like any of these prepositions here. Okay? So we have Rick hugs me. The object pronoun me is used after an action verb hugs. Rick smiles at me. The object pronoun me is used after a preposition at. Okay? So when a pronoun is connected to a noun with the word and you have something like Rick and I or Rick and me, it can be hard to tell which pronoun is correct, right? So to tell which one is correct, you have to look at the sentence without the other noun. So if it's connected with a noun, you have to make sure that you look at the sentence without the noun. So if we say Rick and I like the teacher, so you would have to remove this one here, the noun, and you would say I like the teacher, and you see that that sentence makes sense and I is the subject of the sentence. And if you say the teacher likes me now, what will that be? You remove the now and it will be what the teacher likes me. So me is used after the action verb likes. So that's how you can differentiate it in case you come across like a pronoun and a noun together. So you have to make sure that you say the sentence or look at the sentence without the noun. Okay? So yeah, let's see. Let's move on to some examples. So select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. Miss Hardy introduced the other artist and dash. So what do you think would be the right pronoun here? It will be what? She introduced the other artist and me. So pronoun. Object pronoun, okay? Mr. Lin and Dash delivered the flowers. So now this is a very typical example of having the noun and the pronoun, right? So you can take away what? The noun here and say what? I delivered the flowers. So if you put I here, it totally goes. Okay? Mr. Durang greeted my classmates and what? And me. object pronoun. Okay, it's after the action verb greeted. All right. So we have this one now. Select the correct pronoun to complete the sentence. Mr. Tom, Mr. Taunton hired my cousin and dash. Me or hi? So what do you think it's the right one? Did he hire my cousin and I or my cousin and me? Okay. So who did Mr. Taunton hire? So me, okay. So Rena and Dash blend the milkshake. I or me? All right, so Rena and I blend the milkshake. So if you take away Rena and you say I blend the milkshake, then is the right one there. Shireen and Dash blamed ourselves. So I or me? All right, so I. Okay. Miss Harding introduced the other artists and me or I. All right, Miss Harding introduced the other artists and me. Okay, so the other campers and dash paddled canoes, I or me. And I. Okay. So we have the next. The monkey grunted at the man and dash me or I. Okay, so the man and me. Okay. Mr. Fletcher greeted my classmates and me or my classmate and I. So greeted my classmates and me. Alright, so that's it for this particular lesson. We will move on to the last lesson that we will complete under this chapter today. We have compound subjects and objects with pronouns. So we already know everything about the subject pronoun, which is I, and the object, which is me, okay, or you, him, her, it, us, and them. And we also have subject pronoun, which could be I, you, she, it, we, or they. So any of this ones for the subject and object pronouns. And we also know that once the noun is connected with the pronoun, you have to make sure that you remove the noun and try to just have the sentence without the noun and see if it's going to be correct. So let's look at examples and then move on to the test. For my birthday, Dash Sancho baked a delicious chocolate cake. Is it I or she or they? What is the right one? Okay, so she baked a delicious chocolate cake. She. That's a subject pronoun. Will Dash and Kylie read some poem aloud in class? So select the correct pronoun. So what do we have? So she as well. At the theater, Dash and Mr. Sawyer sat near me. Okay, so what's the right pronoun here? He and Mr. Sawyer. Okay, so let's move to the test. All right, so select the correct pronoun to complete sentence. Dash and her dance partner performed beautifully. Her or she? What's the right one here? All right, so she and her dance partner performed beautifully. Okay. Dash and took a bow after the show. Him or he? What do you think is the right one here? So he and, okay, subject pronoun. The crying baby clung to Ella and me or Ella and I. All right, the crying baby clung to Ella and me. For my birthday, Dash and Sancho baked a delicious chocolate cake. She or her? So, what did they bake for the birthday? Alright, so she and Sancho baked a delicious chocolate cake for my birthday. Okay, so my friends and Dash joined the school chorus. So I or me. So my friend and I. So you can take away my friends and you can also just put a subject pronoun and say I joined the school chorus. Okay. Shall we wait for Dash and Marshall by the entrance? Shall we wait for he or him and Marshall at the entrance? Which is the right word here? Alright, so him is correct. So that's it for our lesson under personal pronouns. We have to lesson more under this chapter that we will complete some other time when we meet again. Well, before we finish for today, can you tell me if you have any questions? Do you have any questions or not? All right, so since we have no question, we will end here for today. See you all next time again. Bye, everyone.